Natural Resources, Emmanuel Abakufibwa, Nana Kwabena Nketia, our revered chairman, members of state, members of parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, Nananum, captains of industry, distinguished stakeholders and partners, friends and allies of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Long before this land was called Ghana, it was known to the world as Gold Coast. That name was a declaration of our identity, a testament to the world that lay beneath our feet and flowed through our rivers. In pre-colonial era, our fathers mined this gold with ingenuity, using simple tools, effective methods, trading wisely with merchants who came from far and wide. They were active participants who understood the value of what they had. Then came colonialism, and with it, the extraction began in earnest, not for our benefit, but for theirs. Our gold was shipped out unrefined and sold back to us at prices we could not afford. So even though our people provided the labor, they never owned the wealth and the mines. And yet, we were told we are capable of managing our own affairs. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, 70 years after independence, we must ask ourselves, have we demonstrated that we are capable of managing our own affairs and taking ownership of our mineral resource? We know the truth. Why is it that at this day and age, foreign interests are able to hide behind Ghanaian names to satisfy regulatory requirements whilst retaining the control and all the benefits? Look at the scourge of Galamsey today. More than half of it is as a result of this unfortunate and unethical phenomena. To our Ghanaian brothers and sisters who lend their name to such arrangements, open your eyes. You are not empowering yourself. You are being used to disempower your own people. Why do we still see very minimal and no equity stake in Ghanaian mining projects on our own soil? We watch companies extract billions in value, whilst our people hold little for more than the promise of employment. Why do we grant mining lease spanning decades, 15 years, 20 years, even 30 years, locking our resources into arrangements that outlaw government, outlaw policies, outlaws the meaningful benefits of our communities? Why do we still have minimal local participation in the industry that powers our economy? Yes, we've made gains. The Chamber of Mine reports indicate that some companies now employ up to 40% of their workforce in the local communities, and we commend that. But employment is not the same as ownership. Labor is not the same as control. Our people are working in the mines, agreed, but they do not own these mines. The answer to these questions, Mr. President, are the reason why your vision is not just important, but empirical. In your research agenda, you gave us a clear mandate: ensure that Ghanaians own, participate, benefit from our mineral wealth. You reminded us that the resources God deposited in our soil were not meant to enrich foreign lands, but to build our infrastructure. Under the dynamic and decisive leadership of our sector minister, Honorable Abakufibwa, a man who has thought it wise to convene all stakeholders here today to share ideas on how to empower Ghanaians, build local capacity, and empower our economy, the Minerals Commission has run with this vision. Let me share with you what have been done in just a little over 12 months. With the minister's guidance, today we can report that we have revoked over 300 small-scale mining licenses that were fraudulently acquired, and those that were held by persons who had no business holding them. This was not a political exercise, but a professional one with all due process followed. For far too long, certain provisions of our mining laws existed only on paper. One such provision is the role of the district mining committees, which under the law must make recommendations before a license is issued. Under the leadership of the minister, we have operationalized these committees, ensuring that no license is processed without their input. Again, you will recall that the minister announced that we have completed a comprehensive overhaul of the Minerals and Mining Act, Act 703, and the Minerals and Mining Policy 2014. We have introduced legislative instruments that tighten the loose ends that have been exploited for years. Revoked LI 2462, which previously permitted mining in the forest reserve. We have also introduced a medium-scale mining license category to fill the gap between small-scale and large-scale, expanding opportunities for responsible Ghanaian miners. We have also proposed sweeping reforms to Stability and Development Agreement. Development agreements are being phased out entirely because they've been abused. We have seen companies use revenues from Ghana to buy mines elsewhere whilst refusing to develop the mines and even pay basic obligation to district assemblies. This cannot continue. We are introducing a new royalty regime that captures more value for the state when prices are high. This is not about punishing the investor, it is about ensuring that when God blesses us with high prices, Ghanaians also share in the blessing. Mr. President, Nana Chairman, this is perhaps the most significant work we have undertaken. We have gone back to the foundation. We have reviewed the policy framework in its entirety. We have examined the Act section by section, clause by clause, including the local content provisions. We are ensuring that the local content is not a compliance checkbox, but a strategic imperative embedded in every mining agreement, every procurement decision, every employment policy. The reform also includes tougher local content rules for in-country procurement and support Ghanaian firms. Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, distinguished stakeholders, on behalf of the Minerals Commission, I want to state clearly and firmly that we are ready. We are ready to run the President's vision. We are ready to implement the reforms under the Minister's leadership. We are ready to enforce the laws with no fear or favor. We are ready to partner genuine investors, those who see Ghana not merely as a destination for extraction, but a partner in progress. We are ready to support Ghanaian entrepreneurs who are willing to invest in their own capacity, professionalize their operations, and meet global standards. We are ready to work with traditional leaders, civil society, local community to ensure that mining delivers tangible benefit to those who bear the environmental and social costs. We are ready to confront those who seek to undermine this vision, whether through fronting, or through regulatory evasion, or through exploitation of loopholes we are now closing. Your Excellency, thank you for your visionary leadership and your unwavering commitment to the people of Ghana. Honorable Minister, thank you for your decisive action, for bringing all of us together under this roof to share ideas and forge partnership. Distinguished stakeholders, thank you for your commitment and for honoring our invitation. Thank you for believing that Ghana can and must do better. Together, let's build a mining sector that our children will be proud of, not just for what we extracted, but for what we built. Not just for the wealth we took, but for the capacity we left behind. God bless Ghana. And now, in a few weeks, Mincom will be going digital. You can work around the globe using our interactive app. Welcome and thank you.
And that is a demonstration of a few of the features of the Mineral Commission's app, mobile app that will be readily available to facilitate your work in the industry from any corner of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, tell somebody on your side, the Minerals Commission is ready. The Minerals Commission is ready. Can we please celebrate Mr. Tando and his team one more time with a round of applause? And so, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this obviously requires some resources to execute and to put together, and we want to appreciate every single one of our sponsors who have put their resources to the table as a show of their commitment towards local content and towards improving, of course, the mining sector in Ghana. Our headline sponsors have been Engineers and Planners and B5 Plus Group. Can we please celebrate a round of applause to them? And at this point, respectfully, I would invite the Director for Business Development at Engineers and Planners, Mr. Emmanuel Eskin, to share a brief remark with us. Thereafter, we will then be getting ourselves into the highlights of our engagement this morning, as we will be hearing from the Honorable Minister and ultimately from His Excellency, the President. Do we have Mr. Eskin with us from Engineers and Planners? And so as they make their way to join us, let me take the opportunity as well to acknowledge our platinum sponsors, Goldfields, Newmont, Omnicard, Rabotech, Zijin Golden Ridge Limited, Jody Drilling Services, and Jody Construction. At this point, Mr. Eskin from Engineers and Planners.
Good morning to you all. Your Excellency, the President of Ghana, the Sector Minister, Honorable Ministers, Nananum, Ambassadors, distinguished guests, media, colleagues, leaders of the industry, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols respectfully observed. We are happy to be sponsors of this very, I would say, opportune event. Why? Because EMP has been champions of local content. We have done the heavy lifting since we came into the industry as a company. We've contributed to the local content and we've lived the local content. For the sake of ambiguity, I would like to explain local content in our industry, mining industry. There is this concept out there that local content means we hate foreigners, hate investors. It's just us. Everything should be Ghanaian. That's not the meaning of local content. So in the mining sector, local content refers to the following: systematic, and I will emphasize that, systematic inclusion of local suppliers, contractors, workforce, and technology partners. And this should be across the mine life cycle. The mine life cycle. So it's from exploration to rehabilitation. This is how we understand local content in the mining industry. So it's inclusion, and it should be systematic. Systematic in the sense that we prepare ourselves as contractors, as local suppliers, to be able to be included in the whole cycle. And we do that in collaboration with our investors. We do that in partnership, in ventures, joint ventures with our investors. So we don't hate investors, and it's not meant for Ghanaians only. Local means involve the stakeholders in the area where you operate in your operation. This includes local procurement, local ownership, and capital participation. I'll pause on that. Local participation is not just fronting for foreigners or fronting for foreign companies. Local participation is real joint ventures where, as a local company, you contribute, not just fronting. Okay, it also includes local technology and knowledge transfer. Okay, so we expect our investors to transfer the knowledge to the local community, and that's how we are able to stand and participate in the localization of the mining sector. Today, I stand before you not just to tell the local content story of engineers and planners, but to share a story of belief, resilience, and relentless power of Ghanaian ingenuity. Just for those who don't know about ENP, we were very popular not long ago in the media. ENP began in 1997 when Dr. Ibrahim Mahama walked into the mining sector with just one dozer and an extraordinary vision. Those of us who have been in the industry for a while, we all remember how he entered with his one dozer. From that single machine, he has grown what is now Ghana's largest indigenous mining contracting company. Thank you. Our journey has not been easy at all. From equipment rental to small-scale operations to large-scale to ultra-class mining and now into mine ownership. This requires some commendation. This reflects a simple truth. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency. This reflects a simple truth that when Ghanaians are given a chance, we rise. When Ghanaians believe in ourselves, we build. And when Ghanaians commit, we excel. I will take that again. When Ghanaians are given a chance, we rise. When Ghanaians believe in ourselves, we build. And when Ghanaians commit, we excel. For nearly 30 years, ENP growth has been guided by a powerful watchword or a slogan. There is enough work for us if we do the work properly the first time. There is enough work for us if we do the work properly the first time. And we say, ENP can do. That is the spirit. ENP can do. This belief has shaped our character, our culture, and our impact. And let me share something that should ignite pride in every Ghanaian in this room. Do you know that Ghanaians make up the largest population of African mining expatriates in the world? I will take that again. Ghanaians make up the largest population of African mining expatriates in the whole entire world. Ghanaians globally are noted for some of the most skilled, hardworking, and trusted African mining professionals in the world. This is who we are as Ghanaians. This is the Ghanaian spirit, capable, resilient, and world-class. World-class, I mean. At ENP, our secret has never been machines or money. it has always been people. Dr. Ibrahim Mahama built and is still building a human resource philosophy rooted in trust and empowerment. He has created what we call the square table system. The square table system is where every voice matters at the decision-making table. We call it Ibrahim and the square table. When you come to Ibrahim's office, you see his table is square. And as we all know, the figure square has 4 equal sides. What he's trying to portray at that table, he's not the overall. At that table, everybody's voice counts. And that's how we get our success. He has built this human resource empire, I would say. And it is because he has committed to bringing Ghanaian expatriates home. He doesn't just bring them home. He brings them with the same pay, respect, and opportunity they receive abroad. He has created a homecoming culture. And it means he sees talents not as temporary labor, but as lifelong partners. He only seeks for the best because he believes Ghana deserves the best. I stand here as a living proof of this, Dr. Ibrahim's philosophy. I started by my career right here in Ghana. I started in Ghana, then went expatriating for so many years across most mining jurisdictions in the world. I worked in Jamaica, Zambia, DRC, Panama. I'm saying this not to boast, but I'm driving at something. We were building world-class mining operations. In 2018, I came back home. Today, I have the privilege of helping build world-class projects right here in Ghana, including our famous Azuma Black Volta. Wish us luck. The project is in its exciting startup phase. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, Ghana is not waiting for a hero. Ghana is a hero. And every Ghanaian professional, company, institution, and leaders gathered here today are all part of that story. Let us believe in our own capabilities. Let us support our local industries. Let us prove once again that Ghana can rise to any challenge. Long live the local content. Long live Minkom. Long live our sector minister. Long live our dear president. And long live our beloved Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. May we please have the brief video to acknowledge and to celebrate and appreciate B5 Group as well.
Money is Mukesh Takwani. I'm the Group Chairman of B5 Plus Group of Industries. In the original days when we started B5 Plus, our mission was very clear that we wanted to produce the good quality steel product right here in Ghana. We are producing the quality steel to the every doorstep of every Ghanaian first, with the quality reliable service and delivering the best quality steel really made in Ghana. So our vision was very clear to make a steel affordable in Ghana so that every Ghanaian can build a house. B5 Plus, we always believe into our core values of immunity, hard work, believing in our team, and most importantly, constantly being disciplined. That is the most important aspect of B5 Plus. We are very proud to say that today we have started our grinding media ball, which will be supplying to the mining industry. This is one of the best mills will be producing right here grinding media balls for mining industry. B5 Plus is already known to be the backbone of steel supply to the mining industry. With this, we will not be only saving millions of dollars in the foreign currency, but at the same time, we are very proud to say that we'll be creating thousands of jobs as well. B5 Plus, be strong.
Once again, a very big thank you to engineers and planners and to B5 Plus Group. Thank you very much for your kind headline sponsorship of this very important local content summit. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the crux of the matter. We slowly get to the summit of it, and we embrace the clarion call to ensure that local content in the mining sector is effectively and fully implemented. Please help me with a round of applause to welcome the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the Honorable Emmanuel Ama Kofibua. Please keep it going, please keep it going, please keep it going. So much hard work, thought, and planning has gone into this. Congratulations to the team.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President John Mahama, President of the Republic, and our Kobinan Ketia, my own father, the President of the Western Regional House of Chiefs, the Chairman of this occasion. I know you are here with the Ulamo. Ulamo, where is the vine? I also note the presence of the Western Regional Minister, my brother Joe Nelson, and my able deputy, Honorable Yusuf Suleiman. I note Mr. Tano, the CEO, and your deputies. I will stand on the very well-established protocol. First of all, as a proud son of the soil, I know the regional minister, you've done it, but I can't help it. Let me also welcome you to the Western region, to the most beautiful region in Ghana, where only the best comes from. To have this distinguished convergence of the brightest minds, the most experienced hands, and the most committed hearts in Ghana's mining sector, all gathered here today under one roof, which is really, truly remarkable. And as I was watching the EMP video, the story was very clear. We are gathered here because we started at the end of the bus. We were told to move to the middle, and I think we all agree, Ghana has reached the place where we can drive the bus. And we are beginning a journey where we are going to have about 100 EMP in Ghana and send them all across Africa. Your Excellency, permit me to begin by expressing our profound gratitude for your thoughtful and visionary leadership. Your recent agenda has given renewed hope and direction to Ghana's march towards economic sovereignty. This we have seen and felt now, your unwavering commitment, a commitment that has brought every one of us here today to ensure that Ghanaians own participate in the and benefit from the world beneath our feet. Your Excellency, your pioneering leadership, courage and vision that led to the passage of the local content regulations in the petroleum sector that transformed that landscape and empowered Ghanaians must be celebrated. And I think that I have been a privilege to have served as the energy minister. And today is actually a very opportune time to talk about that. It's a clear reminder that sometimes some decisions that are tough must be made. And they must be made because they are important. Because, Excellency, if you recall, leading up to the passage of the local content regulations in the petroleum sector, you had all sorts of stumbling blocks. And I note the presence of the diplomatic community. So every powerful embassy was coming. This is too early. The petroleum sector. Even at Parliament, at some point, you had a stumbling block. But I remember vividly what you said. Boa, we must go forward. We must start somewhere. Please, today, His Excellency, this summit, because of what we did in the petroleum sector, we were coached and directed. Can you imagine this? The Minerals Commission and the mining sector, which has been in place for over 100 years, was being directed by the Petroleum Commission on local content because of what we've been able to achieve in the last decade or so. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's not strange that after more than 100 years, we are now here to talk about this very important made in local content in the mining sector. Ghana's mining sector is not a newcomer to the story of Ghana's development. From the rich gold belts of Obuasi, Takwa, Pristia, to the manganese deposit of Insuta, Awasu, and Yinahini, and several other deposits across the country, those yet to be discovered, Ghana sits on some of the most enviable mineral endowments on the African continent. For over a century, we have dug deep into the earth, extracting these minerals to fund all sorts of projects, infrastructure, schools, and others. But here is the uncomfortable truth. For all these decades, despite all this wealth, the mining sector has largely operated as an enclave. It has existed alongside our economy, but not yet fully within our economy. We have been prolific producers, yet passive participants in this very important sector. The value has flowed through our hands, but too much of it has settled elsewhere. Why should our local businesses, despite their immense potential, capture less than 40% of the procurement spend in a sector that generates billions of cedis in expenditure every year? Why should over 70% of high-value services, engineering service, engineering design, equipment supply, specialized technical support still be sourced from outside our borders? Why? And these are very legitimate questions to ask. And as Nana plainly put it, gold lives, but the poverty stays. Today, we are here today to make sure we close all that gap. Because the truth of the matter is that we have the talent and the will, as has been demonstrated. And I have seen it with my eyes with young Ghanaians, engineers in our mining towns, brilliant minds who can diagnose complex problems, but often lack the partnerships to build those solutions. What we seek, and I have to be clear about that, it's not because we do not seek the importance of investors. In fact, we want them. We want them to come to Ghana. We seek a structured, intentional by capital and technology opportunity. The kind that transform potential into performance. That is the partnership we seek. This is precisely where the power of partnerships comes in. Just imagine for a moment when a Ghanaian fabrication company enters into a joint venture with an international engineering firm. The result is not just a contract fulfilled. It is a knowledge transferred, skills upgraded, and confidence built. When a local technology startup partners with a mining multinational to develop a drone-based oil monitoring solution, the result is not just cost saving for the mine. It is a Ghanaian innovation that can be exported to mining operations across the African continent. When a Ghanaian-owned company holds equity in a mining operation, the result is not just dividends, it is a stake in the nation's future, a voice in decision-making, a commitment to sustainable practices that outlast any single mining sector. So even when the gold is gone, this is the value we will keep. And so when Osagyefo says we should keep the commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy, this is what he was talking about. As he stated, we must ourselves take advantage of our resources to provide the means for our own development, unquote. It is only doing so that we shall be able to develop the productive capacity of our people and raise the standards of life of our people. These words spoken decades ago still burn with the fire of relevance today. These words spoken decades ago still burn. As I've stated, Osagyefo understood that political independence without economic independence was incomplete. He understood that the wealth of our land must serve the welfare of our people. Your Excellency, this is precisely what your reset agenda seeks to achieve. This is precisely what local content and indigenization is all about. For us at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Minerals Commission, it is not just about speech. Excellency and Nananom, I want to assure you that the foundation is already being laid. The Minerals Commission has developed a mining local content and local procurement policy framework that prioritizes Ghanaian participation, not as an afterthought, but as a strategic imperative. The establishment of a special purpose vehicle to drive sustainable partnerships and industrialization is well underway. We are moving steadily and surely from policy to practice. But distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me pause here and speak plainly, because this is important. The platform we are trying to create, the great opportunity we are opening for Ghanaian participation, comes with a solemn warning. We frown on, we will not condone any form of fronting using Ghanaians. Let me state it. The practice where foreign companies hide behind Ghanaian names, using our people as mere marks to satisfy regulatory requirements, while retaining all the control and the benefit, is a theft of opportunity and a betrayal of everything this summit stands for. To my fellow Ghanaians, brothers, and do not sell your birthright for crumbs when you can own the bakery. While government can create the enabling environment, provide policies, incentives, and infrastructure, the onus of supplying entrepreneurial energy, innovations, and partnerships lies with the rest of us, captains of industry, the entrepreneurs, the investors, the professionals gathered in this room. Ghana is not merely a destination for extraction, but a partner in progress when we form joint ventures with Ghanaian partners. When we invest in local supply development, when we share technology and train our people, you are not just fulfilling a regulatory requirement, you are building a sustainable future for your own operations, because a prosperous, skilled, and empowered local community is the best guarantee of operational stability. To our Ghanaian entrepreneurs and businesses, we have opened the door. The opportunity is here, and it is rare. But with opportunity comes responsibility, and we must rise to the challenge of quality, efficiency, and innovations. I took my time to study how B5, how EMP, and all these companies have risen to those positions. It took hard work. It took dedication. It took excellence. And as somebody said, don't behave like some Ghanaian businessmen. The first profit they get, they want to go and buy a house. Invest it in the business. Grow the business. The normal traditional leaders, your role in this transformation is indispensable. We commit to strengthening community engagement processes and ensuring the development of agreements that deliver tangible benefits to our people. So we invite you to hold us accountable and partner us to ensure that mining communities are not just sites of extraction, but centers for genuine development. Ladies and gentlemen, these minerals are finite, but the capabilities we build, the industries we establish, the partnership we forge, those can be infinite. They can outlast the mines, outlive the deposit, and become the enduring legacy of our generation. That is why we must move beyond compliance to commitment, beyond business as usual to bold transformation. As we deliberate on these very important values in the next 2 days, let's begin to ask the very tough questions. How do we ensure that the gold we mine is refined here, crafted here, and become the foundation for our traveling jewel manufacturing industry? How do we ensure that our lithium deposit powers not just electric power batteries in our countries, but industries and jobs right here in Ghana? How do we ensure that thousands of young Ghanaian engineers and mining professionals have the partnerships, the technology, and opportunity to build the future we dream of? Your Excellency, distinguished guests, Nananum, I'm very optimistic. Not because I think the path is easy, but because I know that the people in this room have the power to make it possible. Now is the time for integrated, inclusive, indigenous mining that will secure our future. Your Excellency, Mr. President, thank you once again for your leadership and vision. You are the reason we are here. You are the reason why we believe we can march forward. Distinguished stakeholders, let us leave this place committed to action that actually builds genuine Ghanaian capacity, forges meaningful partnerships, and rejects fronting and embrace authentic empowerment. I thank you. As we say in Ahanta and in Zuma, thank you so much.
Shall we do it one more time loudly for the Honorable Minister? Respectfully, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to my attention that we've had with us the High Commissioner for Canada to Ghana. Has been with us right from the very beginning. Her Excellency Miriam Montrat. Can we please put our hands together to celebrate and to acknowledge her? Thank you very much for joining us and for honoring us. And once again, we want to appreciate all of our sponsors as well. Our platinum sponsors: Goldfield, Newmont, Omnicard, Rabotech, Zijin Gold Ridge Limited, Jody Drilling Services, Jody Construction, and we have our gold sponsors: Chemsolve, Newmont, Shipping Gold, and Golden Star. We truly appreciate every single one of you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, very shortly we get into the ultimate climax of our engagement this morning with the official opening ceremony of the National Local Content Summit for 2026, the very first of its kind. And to proceed with appellations to invite His Excellency the President, we have a cultural curator, a poet, and a member of the Folklore Board, yours and mine, Nana Asase, and his entourage would celebrate us with a cultural invitation to His Excellency the President. That was to celebrate the heritage of the region that has hosted us for this morning. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to hear from our cultural curator, poet, and a member of the folklore board, Nana Asase, to invite His Excellency the President.
When a child is called before his elders, he dare not name names or call titles lest he misses one and be made to pay a fine. I did not forget my slippers in a hurry. I simply came to dance in the mud that my elders have fomented, so that perchance I can boast that I come from a place where we walk on gold. Before we get to heaven, people, welcome to the El Dorado that the explorers missed. Welcome to this place where dreams are a daily occurrence, Welcome to this place where we sleep, for indeed this life is simply that sleep. We woke up from nothingness in eternity to sleep into reality. I take that again. Welcome to this place where dreams are a reality, because this life is simply that dream. We woke up from nothingness in eternity to sleep into reality. A man can only be as true as his mother tongue. We are told not to forget the back without which there is no front. And so I salute you, my kings, my elders who have taught me to speak well. You who have given me arms, and so you have put your insignia of authority in the mouth of this little child who is called before his elders. He dares not name names or call titles lest he misses one and be made to pay a fine. But I am comfortable because a child is not held in contempt for calling his father's oath out of 10. And I greet you all, my elders, my clansmen, my kinsmen. I have learned that the beard is the broom with which our elders gather wisdom. Our elders rinse their beards in the dew to lose the pigment of youth. But mind you, when you meet an elder who totes no beard, he has speak some of life's experiences. It only serves you right to sit at his feet and listen to words of wisdom. If you go picking them up, they would not be snails, they would be golden nuggets that will light the path of life. Indeed, it is a very good time to be Ghanaian. It is a very good time to be Ghanaian when you're in Bibia. They say that when you mother sini in them suma shadow odizeto, but technically unto them. It is simply because in that environment your eyes cannot see. But your shadow does not desert you, it is your steps that grow firmer. And when a man is sure of his steps, then he dares life to bring on its worst. My people, in that same vein, Africa's black star. Africa's black star in the darkness simply means we are working, waiting for the daylight to come. Before the daylight comes, there is darkness. That is the only mandate on which we can say, let there be light. Darkness is the only backdrop against which light can be seen, my people. And so, our black star, when everything in the world seems to be balanced, we stand out and we are outstanding. Just as the black star is a beacon of African leadership, the black star is embodied in a man who sits in our midst today. We clap, but today we come to beat our chest. Because finally, my people, the rain of wisdom starts to seep, not into our heads, but you see, just like good thoughts trickles down the mind, down the chin, down the elbow, and it becomes a matter of the tongue. And so without beating the gong, all of us have been summoned to sit and listen to wisdom today. What is the wisdom? Wisdom simply says that we hold the power to build our house. We hold the power to make our bed and determine how comfortable it is going to be. We hold the power to choose the kind of fire that even will burn our roof, my people. And so as we walk on the streets of gold, how do we now pick our footsteps and through to the rest of the world, and they dictate to us how we should build our walls? They wipe their hands in our faces, but finally we say we want to take charge of what our footprints are. And so we will not just leave our footprints on the faces of the sands, for this is the place where earth and sea and sky meet to share gossip. It will be washed away. We want to leave our footprints on the minds of Ghanaians yet to enter the thought of time. We want to leave our footprints in the hollows of the drums, so that when they are beaten, our people will know that the back has produced the front. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from the back of history. Welcome to this front. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day Ghana would be the most industrialized nation in Africa, a beautiful mirror for the world to look into. Yes, yeah, Jimpa, editing. And companies at the sumim now, so when you sumi paddy to swap in your dream paddy to trim now they are others. My people, a good matter is short. Let me not drag it. I am simply one who comes as a forebear, for one who wears shoes, so I dare not wear them. For indeed, when we have gathered to measure the color of fugu, yours had better not be more colorful than that of the master weaver. Pay attention. 3 key things. Edin Krahini says that we are the principal determinant of our destiny, and we keep going and going and going. The symbols of authority on our shoulders. Our chiefs have their places, but you see, the burdens of a great vision weigh the shoulders of the mind, and so regulation, and he who sits on the seat has a very beautiful duty of keeping all of us together. It is not an easy matter, my people. And you see, if all of these fantastic ideas will fail, it is not possible. Ajinyame, if it will work, it still takes him. And so, our black star is in our midst today. He who went to sleep had the dream, beat the drums, and called all of us to listen. My people, from the savannah to the seashore, I did not bring the jile. I brought 6 strings to summon a man who is regal. I brought 6 strings to summon a man who holds so much wonder in years, in youth. I came to summon a man who, very skillful, runs very deep. Deep in wisdom, deep in thought, deep in youth. Let Africa bear witness. Let the world be an example. And let all of Ghana, if your left hand and your right hand are yours. Let us say, what you wanna do? Why are they? Muni Ejuma. Asankushun. I hope I got one right. Your Excellency, with all respect, when again, sits in the parliament and throws his hands to the left and the right and beats his chest in that same spot, he is tickling his own fancy. Yet, when he throws his hand to the left and the right and his people go on their knees and they go up, then indeed he is master of all that he surveys as he sits in that palanquin, leading the charge, forward ever, backwards never. Sir, with all respect, on behalf of everyone here, old and young, I am on my knee. Your palanquin is ready. If you lift yourself, may earth receive you gently. When you take your first step, may it be that step of history. And finally, when you speak, your words will fall in the right places. But after your words have fallen, action will follow. The Black Star of Africa says, let there be light so that the Black Star can be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the center of the earth, and I present to you His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, who leads at the center of hope and the center of work.
Thank you. Nana Sassi never disappoints. He's so eloquent, and we are happy that our youth are carrying on the traditions of our fathers. Nana Ketia, the 5th paramount chief of the Sikado traditional area and the president of the Western Regional House of Chiefs, and chairman of the occasion, but also my comrade and my fellow Nkrumahist, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge all our paramount chiefs and traditional leaders and queen mothers who are here with us today. I acknowledge our members of the clergy, Christian and Muslim, who have joined us for today's program. Mr. Hakim Adai, Council of State Member for the Central Region, you're welcome. Our Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Ama Kofi Boan, we want to thank you for your statement. We want to acknowledge your deputy, who happens to be my Member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy, Honorable Yusuf, our distinguished chairman of the board of the Minerals Commission, Honorable Nto Boahi, who happened to be my roommate in university. Members of the Minerals Commission board, distinguished industry players, esteemed members of the diplomatic corps, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to join you here in the beautiful capital of the Western region, Takoradi, for this historic maiden mining local content summit. I wish to extend a special welcome to our international partners who have traveled from other parts of the country to be part of this defining conversation, our captains of the mining industry, the Chamber of Mines. I wish to welcome all of you to this summit. For over a century or more, mining has been the backbone of Ghana's economy. From Obuasi to Takwa, from Bibiani to Nangodi, from Awaso to the emerging lithium belts of Awoya, mineral wealth has shaped our fiscal landscape and funded our national development. Yet we must confront an uncomfortable truth. While Ghana is Africa's leading gold producer and amongst the top 6 globally, much of the high-value activity in our mining value chain, advanced engineering, processing, equipment manufacturing, technical services, and refining still takes place outside our borders. In 2023 alone, the extractive sector generated almost $6.6 billion in export revenues. However, local participation in high-value segments remains very limited, with domestic procurements accounting for only a fraction of the total sectoral spend. We've been prolific producers, but we have not yet become full participants in the extractive value chain. This summit is about closing that gap. As we deliberate, we must ask ourselves a fundamental question. What will be the true legacy of Ghana's vast mineral wealth 100 years from now? Will it be recorded only in export statistics and royalty payments? Or it will be remembered as the foundation upon which we build world-class industries, thriving Ghanaian enterprises, and resilient mining communities? This question must serve as our compass to offer us direction. And we're not alone on this journey. Many other African countries are asking the same question. And many other countries in the world are asking the same question. In Botswana, they've leveraged strategic partnerships to ensure value retention and citizen participation in their diamond sector. In Chile, they've transformed their copper wealth and advantage into a gold mining technology ecosystem. Indonesia mandated domestic processing of nickel and thereby repositioning themselves at the center of the global electric vehicle battery supply chain. The lesson is clear. Smart, enforceable, and forward-looking local content policies do not deter investment. They create sustainable competitiveness. The key is balance. Such policies must be both ambitious and practical. They must be firm, but also performance-based. They must be focused not merely on percentage targets, but on measurable capacity development outcomes. Today, I wish to outline 5 strategic pillars that will guide our approach to local content. The first is that local content must evolve from transactional procurements to transformational partnerships. This government is reviewing and refining our mining legislation and regulatory frameworks to ensure that Ghanaian enterprises move up the mining value chain, from suppliers of consumables to manufacturers of critical components, from service providers to innovators. We'll incentivize mining firms to build local capacity and not simply purchase locally. Equity participation, technology transfer, and knowledge sharing must become standard practice and not the exception. The second pillar: it is no longer acceptable for Ghana to continue to export raw ores and import finished products. We must aim to eliminate raw ore exports within the next 5 years. We must support the establishment of refineries and bullion infrastructure. We must promote mineral-based industrial clusters. We must facilitate downstream processing of our bauxite, manganese, and lithium. We must align our mining strategy with the global green energy transition. Our mineral wealth must power Ghana's industrialization, not merely sustain export dependence. And the third, no mining sector can be competitive without a skilled workforce. And so we will strengthen institutions such as UMAT and our technical universities. We'll deepen apprenticeship programs in collaboration with the mining industry. We'll prioritize skills in automation and robotics, drone and modern exploration technologies, data analytics, environmental sustainability, and renewable energy integration. We must train not only miners, but also mining technologists, engineers, and innovators. The fourth, the future of mining is digital, sustainable, and technology-driven. And therefore, Ghana must become a hub for AI-assisted exploration, for IoT-enabled asset management, for blockchain-based supply chain transparency, and for local R&D, Ghana-specific mining challenges. We'll explore establishing a national mining innovation and research hub to institutionalize knowledge sharing and technology adaptation. And so this summit must mark the beginning of a structured ecosystem and not a one-off event. The fifth is indigenous participation in the mining sector. The government will encourage and support the indigenous Ghanaian private sector to scale up from just mining subcontracting to full ownership of world-class mining operations. We note the current development of the Black Volta Gold Project by the indigenous Ghanaian company Engineers and Planners Limited. This is the first mining project of such scale being undertaken by a wholly owned Ghanaian company. When operational, this project is expected to produce about 170,000 ounces of gold a year over a mine life of over 15 years or more. The sixth, responsible and community-centered mining. Local content cannot be separated from responsible mining. We're strengthening development agreements and community engagement under the revised minerals and mining framework. Traditional authorities and MMDCs will continue to play a decisive role in monitoring compliance and safeguarding community interests. Mining must leave our communities better than it found them. We'll continue the fight against illegal gold mining and work to formalize the artisanal and small-scale mining sectors. We'll increase our efforts to clean our water bodies and reclaim the lands that have been mined out. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana Chairman, this is a shared responsibility. The government cannot achieve this transformation alone. To Ghanaian entrepreneurs, the bar for quality and innovation is high, but the opportunity is unprecedented, and so you must prepare, you must build partnerships, and you must compete. To our international investors, Ghana offers you stability, policy clarity, and long-term partnerships. But we expect genuine collaboration that embeds capacity within our economy. To the regulators and policymakers, enforcement must be consistent, transparent, and fair. What will be the legacy of our mineral wealth 100 years from now? If we get this right, our greatest export will not be raw gold, raw bauxite, raw manganese ores, or lithium. Our greatest export will be Ghanaian talent, Ghanaian technology, Ghanaian enterprise, and a resilient and competitive mining economy. And so this Maiden Mining Local Content Summit must deliver more than just declarations. It must deliver a binding commitment, a shared national pact that makes our mining industry thrive. So, ladies and gentlemen, the work begins now, and it is a charge to all partners, our Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, our Minerals Commission, and all industry players. Let's leave this summit determined to build a win-win partnership for all of us. May God bless our endeavors, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. I thank you.
Respectfully, ladies and gentlemen, as His Excellency makes his way down, I'll please invite the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, together with his deputy, the Regional Minister. Your Excellency, respectfully, a photograph shot together with our principals. I believe the Board Chair and CEO of Minerals Commission, Nana Chairman, respectfully, will join them as well for the very first one, and then for the second one after this, we would invite all the Paramount delegation together with Nana to join as well. Please hold on, Nana Chairman is joining us. Please hold on.